Hello. What was that? Hello, everyone. Today I have a video for you about getting rid of books. I like having my shelves only full of books that I actually want to read or have loved. And that's not to say that I didn't love any of these books, because a lot of these books were books I loved a long time ago. And I was even in like the fandom for them, but I've moved past that, and it was a lot of these books I was a fan of during a time when my life wasn't so great, and so they don't necessarily have good memories attached to them. So I thought, if not spring cleaning, like winter cleaning, I suppose, but just winter cleaning my book collection. So, first one I'm getting rid of is called Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. And this is a weird book. If you have never heard of it, it's about like racism but flipped. If white people were treated the way that black people are treated, and if black people are treated the way white people are treated. And I had this book suggested to me by one of my friends online, who I haven't spoken to in years. Her name was Zara, I think. And she wasn't black, but she had dark skin. And she said this book was a good representation of racism. And maybe she suggested it to me because I'm white, but I just, it's probably problematic now, considered problematic. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I just don't want it anymore. The next two are graphic novels, and they are the first and second volume of the Walking Dead series. I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead. Not that long ago, maybe long ago. I stopped watching the show, maybe in the 4th or 5th season, maybe 6th season. I don't even know how many seasons there are anymore because I stopped watching. I don't even know if it's still on anymore, but, I liked it, and now I don't like it as much. I don't want them. Like, I love my comics and my graphic novels, but I don't want them taking up space. I want to be able to get more graphic novels and have them be ones that I can like for a permanent amount of time, instead of just having that feeling of affection fade away. So, those are going. Next one is one that my mom bought me when we went on vacation to New Orleans. It's called Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. There was a movie about this. It's a good book. Like, it's not a bad book, which is going to be a theme throughout these books. But it's actually really good. It's about these kids that grew up together in this very interesting school, who were raised for a very specific purpose. And now that they're adults, they are separated, but they begin to find each other. And that's really vague, but it's hard to describe this book without spoiling anything. But I would recommend it. I didn't like it, and it didn't have as much of an impact on me that I would want to keep it forever and have it take up space on my shelves. So that is gonna go to a new home. Next book is The Help by Catherine Stockett. It's really nice, actually. It's a really nice copy, hardback, barely used. I prefer the movie over this book. The movie was really good. Octavia Spencer is a gem. I just don't this is so, it's, I don't have good answers. All I have to say is I don't want it anymore. It's not bad. It's just I don't want it. The next one is one that I did not like, and it is called Legend by Marie Lu. I was not a fan of this book. This was a time when I bought books before reading them, before I knew if I would like them. This is supposed to be like a retelling of Les Miserables or something. I read the back, the acknowledgments, and I don't know what it was. It just wasn't compelling enough to keep my attention. I read this on a vacation to Nova Scotia, which awesome place I would visit if you have a chance to. The story is just kind of boring. It's boring. And I don't think that Marie Lu is a bad writer, but this was just not, it was really cookie cutter. It was like, this girl is like a soldier. She's like the the best soldier. She's the daughter of somebody important. And then there's another guy, her love interest, who is on the run, who's like a fugitive. And that's all I can remember. And she's trying to catch him. She's trying to catch him. That's all. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want it anymore. It's in good condition, so hopefully somebody else will want it. Next ones might be kind of controversial. Or not. I don't know anymore. That's The Hunger Games and Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. So I was a massive Hunger Games fan. It's like one of those books that got me into reading like permanently, that were like so good, and but the movies were awful. I am not a fan of Jennifer Lawrence and her acting. I don't think she's a good actress. And I didn't like Josh Hutcherson or, what's his face? Liam, I want to say Neeson, but I know it's not true. Liam Hutcherson? No. Liam, my gosh, his brother. I know his brother's name. It's Chris. Liam Hemsworth. I didn't like any of them in their roles. Woody Harrelson, gold. Zoe Kravitz's dad, what's his freaking name? Gold. But I can't read these books anymore without thinking about the movies, and I can't stand it. I will always love Hunger Games and appreciate what it did for me in my reading, but I don't want them. I don't want them anymore. I think somebody else will appreciate them more than I do. Next one, and maybe this one too. No. Next one is Divergent by Veronica Roth. Missing its whatchamacallit? It's page duster? No. What do you call those? Jacket? Dust jacket. Yeah. The dust jacket got all screwed up. Got ripped, I think. But, that's kind of interesting. That's what is that called? Dauntless? Isn't that the Dauntless symbol? I was very into the Divergent fandom at first. Especially during the first book's release. But when Insurgent came out, it was like, what is this? Where is this going? It's not... I didn't even read Allegiant. I was done. I didn't see the movie. I was so disappointed. And none of the characters, except the background characters, were likable enough for me to keep reading. Like Triss. not not great. Tobias or Four, whatever. No, one of my least favorite love interests in a story ever. So this is going. You get out. You've been voted off the island. And now my last book, last book I'm getting rid of, also does not have his dust jacket because who knows? They just go missing. They're so inconvenient sometimes, because they're just a piece of paper wrapped around a book and they can just rip or like get damaged so easily, but whatever. It's City of Fallen Angels by Sandra Clare. I was a huge Mortal Instruments fan, and then big. Wait, what's the second series called? Frick. Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices. And then I realized that, well, there's the whole plagiarism controversy, which everyone has talked about, beaten it to death. And I also just don't. It's like when you like something when you're young, and then you get older and you realize it's not as good as you thought it was. And it's there are things that are not as good as I thought they were when I was younger, but that still bring me comfort. This does not. The fact that the Mortal Instruments got extended into 6 books is ridiculous to me, and I can't. I know people have said that her third series, The Dark Artifices, is really good and have even liked it, even though they don't like the other 2 series. I actually do kind of still like the Infernal Devices just because of the trio, even though I can't remember the girl's name, Jem, Will, and somebody else. I feel like her name starts with an E. Anyway, this was the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments, or maybe the 5th. I don't know. But at some point I was just like, nope, no more. I can't do it. So, yeah, it's leaving. Get out. You also have been voted off the island. So that's all I have to get rid of today. That's how many books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 books. 10 books I'm getting rid of. That should open up some space on my shelves. And I'm going to give them to the library. The library near me has a bookstore where they raise funds for the library, secondhand bookstore. So I think, some of these are in really good condition and some of them are popular books. Hopefully they'll get good prices for them and they can use it towards, programs for young adults and such. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you have read any of those books, I'd love to know your thoughts on them. If you would get rid of them or if you would keep them. Trash them if you want. Tell me how much you love them and why I'm a fool for getting rid of them. But until next time, bye.